Good evening, everybody. This is Miss Shirley, OG Gardner, saying hello to all my friends and family out there in Garden Land. Okay. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do so and hit that like button and show me that you like me just a little bit. It's a nice day here in Ohio, Cleveland. Um, it started off a little cool this morning. It's like 54 degrees. And I don't think we're going to get an Indian summer this year. It's kind of cool out here. So in the morning, you might need a jacket before you go out. And once you start working, you'll warm up a little bit and then you can come out your jacket. So I'm going to wait, give folks a chance to come in. Okay. Yep. So it's a beautiful day. It didn't rain. So I went out and I did some watering in the garden because even though it's not warm, your plants still will dry out. All right, y'all. So it's Thursday evening, it's after 7. I know a lot of people are in other chats. They're like I was in Homestead Heart for a hot minute, and Gina versus Gina is still on right now. And I think maybe African Dreaming. If they're not tonight, they're tomorrow. But they were talking about going to Tori's Brain Games. So I got to check that out because I do like a good game and I do like a challenge. All right. I'm going to wait for some more folks to come in. Still early yet. And I think Led was on here earlier. I missed his. I heard people talking about it. So I was just wondering, is that still going on as well too? Okay. Did they forget about me? Every Thursday at 7. Oh, I forgot. In other states, my 7 o'clock is 6 o'clock their time. I think, like in Chicago and Louisiana. And I think I'm 3 hours ahead of California. Then we got the East Coast, New York, and what have you. I don't know what the time difference is there. I forgot. I don't know if they're ahead or behind. Okay. I ain't got number time. Give y'all time to come in tonight. Say hello. Today is Thursday, though, isn't it? Yep, I do believe. Yeah, it's Thursday. hmm Everybody's in other people's chats right now, which is understandable because I went in and did a like and gave 'em a thumbs up or a like on their channel as well. I know there's been problems with notifications. I know I haven't been getting them, and other people are seeing in other chats have been complaining about them as well. that people haven't been knowing when people go live until either they're off or been on for a while. So that can be an issue too. I'm just waiting for folks to show up. Yep, beautiful day in the neighborhood. Children are out for the summer, and I had to shut the door because they are loud. But they do go in once the sun goes down and it starts getting dark early. The kids go off the street, which makes for a nice, peaceful evening. Yeah, I am on, right? Yep, I'm live. They say it got up to 84 degrees today. No, that can't be here. Wasn't that warm out there? I've been back outside and it does not feel like 84 degrees. Hmm. Yeah. I've been noticing a lot of the folks are starting to can, including the men, which is a good thing. Because you got a lot of men out here depend on their wives and girlfriends to cook and feed them when they should know how to do it, not only for themselves, but for their wives and girlfriends in case they get sick. So it's good to see they stepping up their A game and finding out the kitchen is not just for the woman. And teach your kids too, because eventually they grow up and they need to be independent as well and know how to burn in the kitchen instead of burn the kitchen down. Hmm. Okay, I did put a notification in. Today is September the 15th. Yeah, I got it right. God, I started doing my nails. I took the old polish off, all except my pinky. I'm trying out a new color. This is over red, but it's a bright orange nail color. I want to see what my hands look like in orange. I don't think I've ever wore orange nail polish before. Okay, people. I hope y'all got the notification because I'm every Thursday at 7. All right. This is strange. Talking to myself. All right. First time it's been this quiet. My cat's sitting over here. She keeping me company. There's so many chats going on. Folks are spread out so far and so thin. Okay. Hello. Okay, they pop in, they pop out, they pop in, they pop out. Okay. Hello. Anybody home? Okay, there we go. All right, people, where y'all at tonight? Hmm, this is strange. Okay, there we go. All right, people, where y'all at tonight? Hmm. This is my regular space and time every Thursday at 7. Normally somebody would have showed up by now. I know there's a lot of other chats going, but normally somebody stick their head in and go peekaboo. Hmm. This is strange. I guess that notification really isn't working. Okay, there we go. Okay, this is really weird. Hmm. Oh, there we go. Hey, Mike, how you doing this evening? I was like, okay, did they stick me on hold? I know people were complaining about not getting notifications, but wow, I heard of a late start, but this is a really late start today. It's the first time this has ever happened. I'm glad you stopped in. Where are you coming from, Gina's house? I'm all right now that somebody showed up. it's been kind of quiet for the first 15 minutes almost, which I thought was somewhat strange, but I guess it has and can occur. Hmm. So, Mike, are you into canning? I know there's a lot of guys that start in can. Now, are you one of them? Peppers or tomatoes or pineapple? Either you or your wife know how to buy a plank from another slave. Oh, yeah. Uh, just leave. It's not like you didn't comment and they didn't know that you was there. Yeah. Oh, so you want to start? Okay. Yeah. Now I can water bath can. I just haven't got up the nerve yet for the presto. Got one. Got to break it in. So yeah, I want to start too. You gonna try to make pepper sauce tonight? I got some shishito peppers, cayenne, jalapeno, and habaneros. I want to harvest and try to make some. Well, I seen Gina make that cowboy candy. I'm gonna try to make some of that because I do like hot myself. Yeah, you got to start small. Yeah, well, you got to start somewhere with something. You know, figure peppers is if you mess that up, it's not too big of a loss. So yeah, you got to start somewhere. I think peppers is pretty much a safe bet. Just be careful when you're doing the hot ones. Better have some gloves on. Don't rub your eyes, and if you can have a fan in the room, because the smell might get to you too. Go up your nose and down your throat. That's not good either. You know, because I've seen folks they had peppers on the stove and the fumes. They started opening up windows. They started gagging and coughing. Couldn't breathe. Yeah. Oh, you made that mistake? Oh, okay. I wouldn't point my finger at you. I mean, you brought it up. Yeah, peppers ain't no joke to mess with. You gotta be careful. I messed around once. Messing around, cutting some peppers, talking to somebody else, forgot I was doing that and rubbed my eye. Oh my goodness. My eye swole up. It was burning. You couldn't put enough water in it to stop the burning, and it just swelled up. Looked like somebody had punched me in the face. It took a while for it to go down too. Yeah, and it was like, "Who hit you?" And I was like, "Why didn't mean somebody had to hit me?" Yeah, ouch. Ouch was an understatement. I was saying some other words. Ouch wasn't one of them. I wasn't cursing, but I was pretty close. When your eye is burning, it's like ah 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 ah. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, that's an easy mistake to make. Mm-hmm. Other than peppers, what other vegetable would you like to can? Or maybe a meat, maybe like chicken or beef. I wanna can some chicken legs. I was watching Homestead Heart. Okay, uh, do it, and she was pretty good at it. Hey, F.R. Humphrey, hello. Glad you made it over. All right, glad to see your face in the place. Hmm. We got a late start today, and I understand everybody got uh, channels going. You don't have to pressure tomatoes. Tomatoes is acidic, so you can use hot water bath for that. You don't need to pressure canned tomatoes because you can make the sauce, spaghetti, and whatever. I think when you start adding other stuff like ground beef and what have you, then you would have to pressure can. But if it's just tomatoes, then by themselves, you can hot bath water canning and do that. So yeah, what you need to do is get you some canning books, like from Balls. You can order them. What is it? Amazon or either Etsy. You don't need a pot, a special pot for it. You could use a regular pot. Um, I learned a trick from Homestead Heart that if you don't have the grill to put in the bottom of your pot, because you don't want to sit your jars uh, in the base, in the bottom of your pot, you take the lids, not the top lids, but the screw on lids, and put those in the bottom of your pot and put your jars on top of that so that your jars is not sitting directly on the bottom of your pot. So I learned that trick from Homestead Heart. Hey, always awesome, Angela. Glad to see you. You say Target, Home Depot, Ace Hardware, Wally World have jars. Yeah, I got jars. The ring. That's what I was trying to think of, the ring. Homestead Heart said you can take the ring and put just the ring in the bottom of your pot and sit your jars on top if you don't have an actual grid to sit your pots your jars on. She said just don't sit them on the actual bottom of the pots. They have to be raised up. So you can take any large pot and turn it into a hot water bath canner. It's the pressure cookers. Canner is a whole different story. Yeah, they got jars and everything like everything else. They're getting high. Yeah, I got a stock pot too. I used to make big pots of stews and chilies and spaghetti. Use the same thing because all you got to do is wait for the water to boil. Put it whatever your jars and stuff in there and put the lid on it. I mean, you don't need a pressure gauge and you don't need weights when you use a stock pot. For hot water, hot bath, however y'all say it, hot water bath canning. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you can try it. The stock pot is good. It's big enough to hold at least 7 or 8 jars, according on how big it is. Juicing with Jay. All right, I see y'all slowly drifting in from other channels. Yeah, Juicing with Jay. I was watching your video the other day about the dragon fruit where you got rid of the plant and they had that one long dragon fruit hanging on the plant. And I was like, oh, I was like, yeah, you the dragon fruit king. All right, Gina, you made it over. You slid over for a hot minute. Thank you, dear. I appreciate that. Yeah. uh, the sugar cane you sent me is sending out everywhere. They're sending out sprouts and new plants all over the place. So I didn't know whether just to leave them on and just let them grow or what. So I need a little FYI on that deal. I got a ton of tomatoes in my freezer waiting. Yeah, yeah. And don't forget to blanch your tomatoes in a hot bath, boiling water, and then have a bowl of ice water to drop them in to stop the cooking action, and you can peel the skins off real easy. And you could juice them, cube them, or however you want to do. Yeah, 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 Gina. I understand you was on a roll. I like your mail call. Uh, or you when you got your seeds and what have you. And wife wants freezer back. Oh yeah, well, she's feeding you, so I think you better go with that. Hello, Nikki. How are you, dear? The everyday life of an OCD-ish chick. Hey, sifting some soil and more. Thank you for coming in tonight. Oh, darling, thank you, thank you. I didn't do nothing special, just a little lipstick, you know, decent pair of earrings, and my mom said I comb my hair, so it didn't look like I stuck my finger in a plug. So yeah. Oh, Mike, you said, oh, you the cook. All right, excuse me, my bad. Say, they got men chefs in the kitchen too, huh? I like her style. She got you cooking. Hey, I ain't mad at her. keep you busy, out of trouble, and she know where you at and what you're doing. All of the above. Hmm. Yeah, Gina. Gina, I was looking at all the seeds that you've been getting from here, there, and everywhere. And I understand when I get my little packages, when I got my package in from Indiana backyard, I was feeling kind of something too. I was feeling special, you know. It's nice to get that little mail call. That someone took the time to drop something in the mail. But you know what? Lately I've been told by other YouTubers they sent me stuff in the mail and I haven't gotten any of it. And I think there's something a little fishy with the mail delivery here because we get our mail whenever they decide to deliver. We're just not getting mail today. There's 3 mail trucks outside. Um, Urban Gardening Chronicle, she sent me something. Um, Tina, Miss Linda, she sent me something. I haven't gotten anything yet. So I've been checking with my post office and everybody act like they don't know what I'm talking about. So I'm a little salty about that. Yeah, it does feel good when people take the time to write your name on an envelope and address to send you something in the mail. It's the thoughtfulness in itself just makes you feel good all over. Because nowadays everybody's about me, 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 and selfish and don't want to share. It's like little kids in a grown person's body. Yeah. Oh, just with Jay, we actually had a mailman years ago that actually got arrested. He was taking our mail and dumping it down in a ravine and sitting in the bars all day drinking. I was wondering why I had was getting late charges on bills, or they said they didn't receive payment. That's when we used to send out money orders and checks in the mail to pay your bills. And I was like, I was sending them copies of the money orders or the check that I sent, and they never got it. And come to find out, all this mail was being done. People weren't getting checks. It was a hot mess. It took them a while to find it, but they finally did. Yeah, and then they want to go up on the postage stamp and everything else. Yeah, true that. So the mailman we used to have, he actually left and moved to Florida. His mom moved to Florida. Ron, I miss Ron. Our mail was delivered by 10 o'clock every day, like clockwork. Rain, snow, sleet, or hail. We had our mail. Ron was here. When Ron left, we didn't get our mail sometimes to the next day. And it's like 2 or 3 days worth of mail all stuffed in your box. The mail system here sucks. Yeah, I had a few boxes crump, looked like somebody stepped on them or sat on them. Yeah. And and you look forward to it. Tina said she sent me something, and I was like, and she asked me, did I get it? And she has sent a couple other folks some stuff too. And they was hitting in the chat, yeah, I got my stuff. Thank you, thank you. And I was like, I haven't gotten it yet. And I've been checking the mail personally and waiting on the mailman. I haven't seen Jack. So I'm a little upset about that. So, mm, yeah, it sucks. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, I need Ron. Mine's no Ron. Yeah. It's a different person every day. And then once when we get somebody at least 2 days in a row, after that's on that third day, you don't see him anymore. Because I had a young lady for a minute and she used to actually stop when she saw me working in the garden. She would actually walk up and hand me my mail personally. And I would say thank you. And then all of a sudden she disappeared. And I was like, oh, rats. I knew it was too good to be true to get somebody else that's decent and reliable. And these mail people, they look at you up and down like you ought to be glad you got it today. And I'm like, wow, yeah. You got a great carrier when you know they yeah, I'm gonna tell you how well I knew Ron. I used to go over to the lot and take my camera and I asked him to take a picture of me standing in front of my apple tree when it was first starting to get apples on it. And then after he took the picture, I plucked one off and gave it to him so he could eat it on his route. Yeah. Can someone email Tinox post office box? I want to send her a surprise box. Oh, that's sweet. Oh shoot. I got it somewhere. You would ask for it. I don't know where it's at, but I do have it. That's a nice gesture. Um, for the folks in the chat, please hit that thumbs up. Show me that you like me just a little bit. And I also want to thank you guys that I'm actually over 252 subscribers. So, for all the ones who have subscribed to my channel and hit the thumbs up and watch my videos, I'm saying thank you personally. And this is my internet hug to all of you guys who has come my way and checked me out. And I like watching you guys' videos as well. They're fun. Said my mailman always got lemons from me. Hey, fresh lemons, I ain't mad because I love lemonade. Oh my goodness. I love lemonade. And I like slicing up lemons and putting it on a fresh piece of fish and baking it. Oh my goodness. Oh, or squeezing some in a salad. That's really good. Yeah. That's a nice thing. Mm-hmm. That's cute. Juicy with Jay, what you say? Yes, please do. Smash that like button. I would greatly appreciate it. Okay. Uh, whether y'all know it or not, I need some moderators. So normally Maria Grant is a moderator, but she's unable to make it tonight. So some of y'all might pop up in the blue. Would greatly appreciate a little backup every now and then. I'm not looking to see any trolls yet because I haven't gotten to that level of hatred. But I do like for someone to watch out just in case one pop up and I miss it. Because my eyes is not. Your chat box disappeared, but they don't like you. Oh wow. Okay, that's rude. Doreen's food prep and resource. Thank you. Yeah, I met you today first time on Gina versus Gina. Thank you for coming over. I appreciate it. Tina, my girl. Good evening. So glad you was able to stop by. Made my day. Yeah. So for the ones that are in the chat right now, everyone is in the blue when I go live. I understand. He said got everybody watching each other. I ain't mad at you. I really do. Oh, Tina, let me tell you something. I went to my local farmers market last week, and they surprised me. They had a Romanisco, uh, and I got it, and it looked just like the one you was growing in your garden. I was like, sweet, and I was like, yeah, let me try this, and it was absolutely delicious. I was like, thank you for turning me on to something new because I've never eaten one and I've never really ever saw one until I saw your show. So it was cool. And Juice with Jay made me want to get a passion not passion fruit, dragon fruit and try that out at one of like at Whole Foods, because they don't have too many exotic fruits at the farmers market, but they do have some nice veggies though, and it was really good. I get my honey from them, and I found out they have ground cherries, and what's the other one? It's another one that Homestead Heart grows all the time. Um, the little bitty cucumbers. I can't think of the name of it, but y'all know what I'm talking about. All right, y'all. Ooh, I got the heavy mug tonight. Ice cold beer. What Broke say cold beer, cold beer. Guava. That cup is almost heavier than me. Yeah, I want to try lemon cucumbers. Who was eating those? Turf. I think Turf had the lemon cucumbers. I was watching him grow one year, and they look good. Yeah, I want to try those. Um, I'm really excited about trying some ground cherries though, cause I seen what's that Mississippi girl? She was having them on her back deck, and they was all over the place. That's when I think I first saw them, and I really wanted to try 'em. Um, so what I've been doing is when I go to the farmers market and somebody buys um, the little cartons, of this and that and the other, because I don't need all of that. It's just me. So I was like, "Can I buy a few of those off of you? I just want to see." And they just give them to me. I was like, "Thank you." So I bring them home and dry the seeds, and I take all my little old medicine bottles because they have an airtight cap on them, and they're also green, so that also helps them to stay preserved. So I don't have to worry about the moisture, and I don't have to worry about sun exposure. Yeah, sharing is caring. I'm sorry, I can't. Got to get you on this though. Guava. You said lemon cucumbers are prolific. Okay. So that means if I let one go to seed, it will reseed itself. Well, that's how a lot of my stuff come up. Like I didn't get all my cherry tomatoes up this past year. Man, I had babies popping up everywhere. I would say I spent most of my time trying to redo the soil and pulling up baby cherry seedlings all over the place. Um, Hey, Teresa Diaz. Hey, hon. Glad you can make. Oh, okay. Badass 93 stands. All right. Hello. Glad you made it. Glad to see you. Brown prescription bottle. What a brown? Yeah. Yeah. A brown is fine. It blocks the sun. Your biggest enemy for your seeds is moisture and sun exposure. So, yeah, brown is just as good as green. Long as you keep it out of the sun and keep them dry, they'll germinate. Let me tell y'all something funny. I had a pack of seeds that I've never opened, and I finally opened it. And I mean, I've had these seeds since 1998. So I threw them in one of my window boxes, and I didn't see them come up. Some seeds take a lot longer to germinate than others. Sometimes as gardeners we get impatient if we don't get instant gratification within a week. Excuse me. So I didn't think nothing else of it, and I put something else in there. So what I had in there was coming up, but then I saw this other plant leaning out the side, trying to push its way up. And I'm like, what is this? And it was actually the flower that I had planted the season before. It actually overwintered in the window box because I don't dump my dirt out. I just add fresh dirt every year. And it was coming back. And I was like, oh, it wasn't dead. It was just slow. And I actually had to pull it out and put it in its own container because it was actually pushing the plant that I put in there for the second time out the way. So it was slow germination, but they still germinated. And I had all my seeds in a black plastic bag with some paper towels in it to make sure that there was no moisture in the bag. That was my way of preserving seeds. And it worked. I said from 98, they still bloom. It was flowers. And I put it in the window boxes, and I put them in their own separate pots, and it did its thing, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Matter of fact, it ended up being the best looking flower that was on the porch outside of the ones in the window boxes. You see, Empire, yeah, it was sleeping, and then it woke up with a vengeance. It woke up and took over. It kind of pushed that other one out the way. Said, "Give me some room." Now that I've gotten a few folks in the chat, uh, my question to you guys is: What plant do you have that comes back faithfully every year? Because we're all in different climates. Like a lot of the stuff we have here may or may not come back according on to our winter. Some stuff reseeds and come back and others don't. But one story I have heard is people with tree collards, how that some of them have had them for like 2 or 3 years. What you say, badass weeds? That's never ending. They will always come back. If nothing else come back in your yard, weeds will be number one on the list. That's cute. Would you say sifting some soil and more my banana tree? All right, now I got a nice banana tree this year, and it's almost 3, 4 feet tall, and I had to bring it in because it snows here, so you know it's not gonna make it. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Well, I got a lot of perennials. They definitely come back every year. They come back and now they taking over. They really need to be divided. Tulips and lilies, I'm having problems with the deer. I used to have some beautiful pink tulips that I got from the Cancer Society, and the deer kept eating them every year until they just stopped coming back. My lilies, they don't bother my lilies too much. They like my stargazer lilies, but my tiger lilies and another variety I have, I don't know the name of it. They don't mess with it. It's like they don't like the taste. But my hostas, you act like they put hot sauce on them and just came out there and just tore them up. You're in North Cali, yeah. It's pretty much everything is year round. Hostas are the only thing that goes away. Oh, okay. So I thought hostas might have to have a chill hours. I know in Cali they won't have any chill hours. We have wild blackberries that grow every year. Okay. My garden name is new, so ask me next year. Okay. Disrespectful deer, yeah. Yeah, if y'all see my video on the deer, it's a two-parter. Yeah, they come back and look at me. I actually saw them walking up the street. Yeah, stargazers are my favorite because they're so fragrant. Yeah, they walked up the street and seen me walk out in the yard, and it was like, "Oh, she back. We'll come back later." And they actually turned around and went back down the street. I was like, "Wow, okay, that's nerve." You only 2 years in, Gina. Gina, girl, you act like you've been here forever. What you talking about? You only 2 years in, please. You act like a pro. Yeah. Oh, let me tell you one year, Nikki, I threw some seeds in my compost pile and forgot about them. And then about a week later, that's my cat. Oh, that was Annie. Photobombing my live. Um, it looked like Seymour took over my compost pile. And what was it? Cantaloupe loved that compost and took over and was coming across my yard. It was spreading. It looked like the blob. It came out through the top, came down the side, and started going all through the yard. Boy, that was the best cantaloupe you could have ever eaten. Oh my goodness, they were so good. Yeah, I love growing sprouts. Okay. Yeah, well, the groundhogs and the raccoons decided I didn't need. They ate my Swiss char. They ate my Brussels sprouts. They ate my broccoli. They ate my cauliflower. Yeah, they ate a whole lot of things. They ate a lot more out of my garden than I did this year. Yeah, they don't die. They multiply. Yeah, they like babies, kids. Yeah, they don't care. Very cool. I have mung beans, and I haven't grown them yet. I don't think I've ever tasted mung beans. I might have, because I eat a lot of salads with sprouts and stuff in it. So I might have had mung beans. And my granddaughter, she always eating healthy, and she's always dragging me to these places to eat. Like, Grandma, you need to eat this. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Yeah, Annie is a diva. Oh my God, is she a diva? You should hear the conversations we have. You think it's two grown people in the room. When she wants me to pet her and I don't feel like it, I mean, I can get just as finicky as she can. She get the yang 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 yang, and I was like, I know you're not talking back to me. And she's like, yeah. And I have people be talking on the phone. They says, "Is that your cat?" And I was like, "Yeah." Y'all cutting into her playtime, and she's not too happy about it. And she will let me know in no uncertain terms. She was saying I was too loud. She was trying to take a nap over here in her corner. That's why she got up and left. Oh, I'll hear about it later. She'll come and sit at my feet and get the yeah, 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 yeah. And I told her, you ought to be glad you're a mouser and you're good at catching mice. Otherwise, you would have a new address and a new zip code. Yeah. Okra is the easiest to grow. They don't need much water. They don't, but the deer ate that too. I've been waiting all summer for okra, and they finally started growing, and the deer came over during the night and they ate everything. I got one last week and I ate it on my live. They're trying to bud again. I hope they don't come back for part two. Last year I had an okra that was over 12 feet tall. That bad boy was throwing out okra like it was a factory. It was so good. People like it. Okra don't like me. Oh, poor thing. I'm so sorry. I'll eat your portion. Yeah, Nikki. Yeah, my cat. Yeah, she bougie. She is. She bougie. She'll walk up to me and I was like, I don't feel like petting you today. And she'll look me up and down. This cat got a straight attitude. But you know what? I take credit. I spoiled her. I did. Because she lays up on my chest and I'll rub her and stroke her and she'll lay there and purr quietly. Yeah. Yeah, she is bougie. I love cats for just that reason. Yeah. I actually had a cat named Sassy once. It was a kitten when I first got it. And I put her on the floor and she walked across the floor. And I said, I don't know what I'm going to name you. And she turned around and looked at me and threw her tail up in the air like that and walked away. I was like, Sassy. And that's what I named her, Sassy. I had that cat for 12 years. Broke my heart. Ooh, I got people begging me for okra. My sister, which I did not know she liked okra that much, she's like, "You got okra in the garden?" Because I'm always giving her cucumbers and tomatoes and stuff. She asked for okra. I was like, "You like okra?" She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, my bad. Okay. When I finally get some, you have some." I grow my okra in the freezer section. Well, I get okra from the farmers market. Since I'm not getting it right now, I uh I will buy it. And I did that deep batter like who's that lady led and deep fried some okra. Oh my goodness. You talking about someone to slap your mama? Oh, that okra was the bomb. Yeah, they do. They walk down the street to my house like as if uh it's a smorgasbord. My neighbor called me one day. She's being said, "Come out on the porch, looking in front yard. Big old buck, antlers this big in the front yard, tearing my hostas up." I threw a glass of water at him and he looked up at me. He was like, "Thank you, I was hot." Oh, I was like, okay, so much for that. Roasted okra is delicious too. I never had it roasted. I love it pickled. I love it fried. I can eat it raw. My mom and my grandmother used to cook it in the greens and cabbage. I got okra growing, not growing. Okay. Oh, I never thought about dehydrating it. It's a good thickener too, like in stews and soups, because I put it in there. People who say they don't like okra, I'll put it in a soup or stew and give it to them. They say, "Boy, this soup is really good." I don't tell them there's okra in it because I don't want them to get mad. But I've yet to see them not eat a bowl that I offer them. I put it to you like that. In Silicon Valley, that's in California. But hope never find it at a farmer's market. The best I can hope is shipped from Mexico. Oh, for real? They grow okra in Mexico? Well, I guess they do. Well, I guess you can grow veggies anywhere in the world. It's just that when you hear them from a place that you wouldn't think grow grows it, it seems strange. I sprayed a squirrel with the hose the other day. He just laid down the You probably had some fleas and lice on. You just rinsed him off. Oh, Angela's campus delight, sweetie. You're not late. You never late. Let me tell you, I don't even care if you're coming in when we're saying goodnight. You're never late. You made your appearance. I appreciate that. And please hit that like button, people, and show me that you like me just a little bit. I greatly appreciate it. And share my video. Yeah, Angela, I'm glad you made it. Um, what else I was thinking about? Oh, I'm starting to make notes. My numbers changed. One day I'm looking at fewer people, then I'm looking at more people, and I'm not getting anybody's notifications. Not a one. I have to catch myself going through the YouTube channel during the course of the day. People been live. Like the other day, with African Dreaming. I was watching him and who was on there? Farmer Q, Lioncrest Outdoors. And I think they had been on there already for like maybe 2 or 3 hours, and I'm just like, I didn't get any notification. I didn't get any notification about Gina today or Homestead Hard or Lead. And I'm just like, what the heck is going on? And when I go on to the channel, it says that I'm subscribed and the top bell, I'm supposed to receive all and any notifications. And I have to check my listing to see who's uploaded new videos. Like I had to catch up with GG Naturals and Eco because I didn't get any notifications about them either. I was like, for real? What is wrong with you folks? It's not like we're not going to find each other, and it's not like we're not going to encourage one another or support one another. They don't seem to get it. We're going to find you. Even if we watch the replay, some kind of way, we're going to find you and get to you. So, hey. Yeah, they be playing, but that's all right. We know how to find one another. And like I said, that's what the replays is for, to make sure that they get their likes, they get their hours, their show hours, and that we get the information. I was watching Indiana Backyard Farmer. She's so cute. And she was telling us how she had been around for a minute because it was her birthday and some other things was happening. And she's back and showing us some stuff. And I was watching what's that, My Renaissance Grandma with her soaps and stuff. I'm gonna have to try to order some of that. Yeah, I'm upset when I miss a live too, because I like to comment or what have you, and I have to watch the replay. Yeah. So yeah, everybody's complaining about notifications. I haven't seen a channel yet where people weren't complaining about they haven't received any notification. So you had two cats, and I don't have them coming into my yard. I see them traveling along the hydro lines. My husband and I call them Squirrel Highway. I don't have many problems with squirrels. I used to, but then when the raccoons and the groundhogs started coming in, they started scaring them away because everybody was digging in the yard. And it was like, no, I got this. And he was like, no, I got this. Yeah, it is frustrating, Gina. It makes me mad because I was like, dang, whole new perspective. Hey, hon, missed you. Haven't seen you for a minute. You all right? I hope you're okay. I really have missed you. Glad to see you made it in tonight. Excuse me. I appreciate that. Annie, what are you doing? Yeah, I hear you. Where are you? Oh, she playing games. She got a catitude right now. I saw squirrels fighting crows the other day. It was funny. Okay, what was it? Squirrels won, crows nothing. How did that go? How did that end up? Oh, oh, thank you, darling. Oh, this whole stuff. Oh, it's just something I threw together. Stuff as old as I am. Okay, with my Dollar Tree reading glasses so I can see what's going on. Oh, okay, Doreen. Yeah, fix your hubby's dinner. Nice chatting. Thank you, dear. Please come back and see me next week, every Thursday at 7. Do you have a channel? Because if you do, I would like to subscribe to it. So let me know if you got a channel before you go. Yeah. Oh, they must have been some food scraps they fight. Oh, the funniest thing I ever seen? I was riding past. I wasn't in the line. I was riding past a Burger King, and it was seagulls fighting a cat over a French fry or a piece of chicken or something in the parking lot. We were sitting at the light, and the bird was in the air like this, and the other one was pulling it like that. It was kind of funny. I couldn't get my camera out fast enough to take a video of it, but it was funny. Yes, please like the video. Yeah, they be fighting over, especially them fast food lots. They just be at it. Oh, you do have a channel? Okay. I'll check you out after I get through. All right. Thank you so much for coming in again, and please come back. Wow, Mike, I have squirrels and crows around here. Maybe it's not the cats. Yeah, you blame one thing and find out it's something else. Because I was blaming the raccoons for a long time about stuff until I found the deer in the backyard looking at me like, what? Ah, okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you, Doreen. Oh, yeah. Like, there's a saying, Gina. It says, I don't age. I'm like fine wine. I don't age before my time. Hey. Okay, Doreen does have a channel. I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, hard out here in the animal world. Yeah, if you're a two-legged animal, because them four-legged ones seem to be eating a lot better than we are. Since the gardening has stepped up, so has the animal population because they've been eating real good. I like watching Spoon, Sunny Backyard Farmer, Led, Led with his squirrel Terminator. It's funny how they be out there hunting down the critters that comes through the yard. It's hilarious, but I understand it. I feel it. Yeah, I do feel it. Okay, always awesome, Angela. Don't be using no initials. I don't understand them. I just found out what IMAO stand for. I and let me tell you how I figured that out. I was sitting in the restroom on the throne, and I was like, "What? What do IMA?" Um, oh, and I started laughing. I was like, "That's what that means." Ah, and I was like, "Okay, all right. Please don't come in with me with no initials. Type it out, cause then I had to Google it to figure out what you talking about." Everybody else be laughing and then understand I ain't got a clue. I'm like a deer in headlights. It's like crickets going like, what? I don't get it. Yeah. That's old school. All right. Cause the only thing that was initials when we came up was DDT and the alphabet. So when folks started coming out with all these initials, have anybody seen those commercials where they just using the letters, the acronyms, as they call them, and you try to keep up with what they saying? And I was just like, it is funny because I had to watch that commercial twice for them to figure out what all those initials are. Other than the FBI and uh, who else? FBI and Internal Revenue. I'm about the only two I knew about the initials. Rest of them, mm-mm. Elwanda, hello there. Glad you made it. Yes, 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 yes. Glad you're here. Yeah. So yeah, tell me words. Don't give me initials, cause I will be lost. I will spend an hour just trying to look up all that stuff. Cause I asked my granddaughter what it meant. She's like, "Google it, Grandma," and I'm just like, "Why I got to Google it when you standing right there? Just tell me what it means." She wouldn't tell me, so I was like, "Oh, yeah." And like when they get to talking some of this stuff, I'm looking at folks like it's a whole new language. That's another thing. Each generation has their own way of communicating. Like one day, I was like, I saw something and I was like, shut the front door. And my granddaughter said, Grandma, they don't say that anymore. So what? You understood what I meant. Duh. I seen those commercials, yeah. So it's wild. My kids come to show me a funny message for the read, and I said, "What? Yeah, please translate." I have no clue what they're saying. You could be sitting next to some what they call millenniums, and their conversation is like the Matrix. I'm like, like, what did they just say? I don't have a clue. Florence, how are you? You saying you come in and you got to go? I understand. Long as you hit that like button and you stop in to say hello, that makes me feel good. Whether you got to run or not, I understand. Everybody got a life. It's still Thursday. It ain't the weekend yet. See, I'm retired, so I don't have a time clock. I ain't got no kitties. I ain't got a man. I'm good. I got all night. Yep, I'm happy. Yep. I've learned a long time ago the difference between being alone and being lonely. I'm good. You say, Mike, I'm happy. What you say, Gina? I still say that. Yeah, still a whole lot of stuff I say. Guava, y'all. This glass is so heavy. Till if I crack somebody in the head in it, I guarantee you, they will know it. I almost have to use two hands to hold it myself because I ain't supposed to pick up nothing heavier than 2 pounds, and this thing feel like it's 5. Yeah, Mike and Guava. I feel like a baby. You ever seen a baby with a sippy cup for the first time? And he's trying to hold it with one hand. He's learning how to maneuver a sippy cup. And they doing a wobble thing, and they got to hold it up so it can tilt it back far enough so they can get to the bottom of the cup. Yeah. As you get older, they say you revert back to being a kid again. I haven't gotten to the diaper stage yet, and I hope I never do. But my mind comes and goes. I had to get somebody to remind me something. Or if I write something down and I look at it and I'm like, oh yeah, I should have did that yesterday. So yeah, memory is not like it used to be. My memory used to be so sharp. Man, I can remember stuff from way back. Now, if I can remember why I stood up, I'd be happy. Yeah, I've been retired going on 4 years, and it took me a minute getting used to it, but now I love it. I love it. I love not punching in somebody's time clock. I love someone not telling me why didn't I get this done in X amount of time. Excuse me. I miss my nurses. I miss the unit I worked in, but I don't miss the politics of the job. And I think that's pretty much that for everybody. Um, when politics come in on the job, it makes it rough for everybody else because you're working at what they think things should be and go. Andy, what are you doing? I got the screen door pulled shut so she can't go out on the porch. She's got attitude and she's bumping her head against the screen door to go outside. I'm trying to keep the flies out. She didn't let flies in and she can't get out and she's bumping the door trying to get out on the porch. Oh boy. Yeah. Miss Diva. Yeah, the politics is it sucks. It was things that helped me to retire when I did because it was just totally out of hand. And then once I left, everything that I was having issues with, they changed it back to where it should have been. Like, the old saying, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because the big wigs didn't have to deal with all that crap. It's the people who actually did the job, is the ones who had to deal with that. And it wasn't working. And I was like, yeah, it's time for me to go. Because they acting retarded up in here. And I don't miss it. I miss my nurses. I miss the aides up on the floor. I even miss the doctors that I came to know over the years. But the rest of that, y'all could keep that. Yeah. But I tell you one thing, I was well respected. I was pretty much no nonsense night secretary. I ran the floor at night. They used to be happy to see me because I didn't play them games with the patients. I didn't play them games with the nurses. I didn't play them games with the aides. When I came in, they know it was all about business because we was doing anywhere from 12 to 18-hour shifts. And I did not have the time to deal with the crap, you know. And that's why I like gardening. Because when I get off work, I'm still in my uniform. I'm out in my yard pulling weeds because my adrenaline is like up here and I need to decompress. And I would deadhead and pull weeds. I had dirt all up under my nails. My uniform be dirty. That's okay because it was washable. I throw it in the machine. That helped me come down because I had to go right back to sleep because I had to go to sleep because I had another 12 to 14-hour shift to go to. So it wasn't about, leisure time. It's about getting rest, you know. But yeah, was a nurse strike there. Ended quickly, thankful. Yeah, you do. Oh, Florence. Okay. I ain't scared of you. You go, girl. Hmm. Yeah. My floor, I was in general medicine. And we got everything and anything after it got triaged from the ED. And boy, the stories I could tell y'all about the patients we used to get on that floor. Woo! It will have you laughing, it'll have you crying, it will have you mad, it have you sad. It's yeah, yeah. Working in a hospital, you got to be some kind of a person. Not everybody can be a people person and deal with patients. And that's God's honest truth. Because it has some nurses that I was wondering, why did you even get your degree if you're not a people person? And it's the same way with these people out here in the garden world. I've met some gardeners who have really have the college education, and they're the worst people to work with and be bothered with because they think they know everything. And every time you try to say something, they want to correct you. What works for you is fine, but it might not work for me. Now, if I'm trying to tell you what works for me and you tell me, no, that's not right, how is it not right if it works for me? So it's craziness and politics and everything out here. You just have to pick and choose your battles. Yeah. I think the garden has become a lot of people's place of peace. Once they found out that they can get out there and weed for hours or till the soil for hours or stake up plants or draw beds or build beds, it puts them in a whole new world, a whole new light in regards to being peaceful. You don't have to fight anybody out there. You're doing your own thing, you know. I would know you're speaking facts. My daughter and son-in-law both work in the hospital. Yeah, yeah, it is. And when they had that pandemic, oh my goodness, I ran into so many of my nurses out, and they was like, "We wish you was back," and I'm like, "No, I'm not missing anything," because they had to suit up and boot up every time they walked in and out of a room, and they turned my unit into a COVID unit at that when it first hit, and it was horrible. They said you left just in time. I was like, two knees break. Yeah. Eventually, I'm gonna have both knees replaced because I got osteoarthritis in my knees, and I have bursitis in my left hip and shoulder. My left shoulder should be in a sling right now because I think I have a tear in my rotator cuff, and I gotta go have it X-rayed. Yeah, it hurts like I can't even describe the pain. Anytime it hits your eyes, yeah. Bro, there go my son. How are you, dear? I'm so glad you made it in tonight. That'd be most of these docs. They don't listen to their patients. Yeah. Let me let me tell you. I had a doctor who came up on my floor one night. He was one of the big surgeons in the hospital, and he came up on my floor one night and he slammed something down on the top of my desk. And the nurses that was behind me at the nurses station, they parted like the Red Sea. And they all looked at me. I could feel them looking at me because they waiting to see how I'm going to react. And I politely looked at him and asked him, "How can I help you?" And he started going off yada da 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 da. And when I put my finger up, everybody know, don't say nothing. When I put my finger up, I got this. And I just politely looked him in the face and I said, and he bent down and I was like, "This is not your floor. I am not your secretary. I will help you when it's your turn. Step to the side and lean back." He couldn't say a word. He stood there in utter shock. He wanted to say something, and I put my finger up like that. And I looked at the new patient that was just coming in. I said, "Sweetheart, how can I help you?" After that, every night he worked, I had a Starbucks because I like a caramel macchiato with soy sitting on my desk with a cake pot, and we became best of friends. Yeah. So, and I would bring in flowers. Oh, I used to grow the most beautiful, doggone it, what's the name of them flowers? But anyway, dahlias, the big dinner plate size, and I would cut one or two and put them in a vase on my desk, and people would come by and they say, "Are those real?" And I was like, "Yes," and please don't touch them. And all night long, I have patients come up. They say, "See, look, look, look. Are those real?" Yes. Don't touch them. I'll bring in cucumbers and slice them up. And I like to bake, and I used to bake cakes and pies and stuff. And one night, I guess it was a real chaotic on the floor, and I baked two cakes and brought them in. And I never frosted them until I got them to the job because they would be still warm when I take them out the oven. And I took them in the break room. I told somebody to watch the desk while I go frost the cakes. I never had a problem with nobody watching the desk. I frosted the cakes, came out, and said, "The cakes are ready." Do you know it was a swarm of nurses and aides? They all went into the break room and shut the door. Somebody came out and said, "Miss Shaw, did you get a piece of cake?" I was like, "No, let me get you a piece of cake now," because they're going at it. They needed some sugar, a sugar rush. They brought me out a piece of cake. When I went back in the break room, both cake pans were not only empty, they had washed them and had them ready for me to take home. They devoured, and I think two nurses came and said, "Where's the cake?" I said, "You didn't get any?" They was like, "No." I was like, "Oh well, I'm sorry, it's gone." They said, "Both of them?" I was like, "Yeah, both of them." Oh, I miss those days though. Yeah, Gina. No one ever put him in his place before. But I guarantee you, I didn't have any more problems and any more doctors that came up there that, you know, I got between a doctor and a nurse while he was cussing her out. I mean, this man was cussing her out like she was a dog. The patient just got up on the floor. She hadn't even seen the patient yet, and he cussing her out about it. I got in between them and I pushed her out the way, and I got right up in his face and I said, "Now talk to me like you talk to her." Well, you know how that went, and we became good friends too. I never seen so many doctors come at my retirement party that they threw. They gave me a surprise retirement party. It was awesome. People that I didn't think liked me was there. It was awesome. It was food, banners, whole 9 yards, gifts, whole 9 yards. Yeah, I miss them though, but I don't miss the politics. Guava. I got a lot of nurses and aides in the garden before I left, and I keep telling them I'm gonna do a video. I got a window box out there on the porch right now, that I showed y'all earlier that I planted some kale that I started from seed. Well, I mean, they're like this now. Absolutely gorgeous. And I'm ready to cut some kale and saute it or make some smoothies out of it or whatever. But yeah, yeah, they wasn't eating crumbs. I actually caught somebody one day. I went in there and they had a fork and they was doing this. Yeah, they ate it up. But yeah, I enjoyed my job and I enjoy people. I'm a people person. I very seldom um meet someone that I don't like or they just despise me. Okay, I like people, and like my mom used to always say, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. And every now and then I had to catch myself when I want to say something I know ain't right because I know the type of negative response I would get if I was to approach that way. And I've learned to think first before I speak. And it makes a big difference. And I wish so many people will learn to do that. Think before you speak. It will make a world of difference. TLC in the garden. Hey T, how's my girl doing? I'm so glad you made it here tonight. Yes, that's right, Gina. Them thumbs up. Show me that you like me. Just a little bit. It'll be greatly appreciated. My granddaughter brought me some cuttings of her what is she hydrangeas. They're a different color from mine, and I'm actually trying to root them to see if I can start that particular variety. They had the big purple blossoms. I have pink and blue. These had purple. They were absolutely gorgeous. So I'm trying my hand at that, and I've been rewatching Lead Farmers videos, and I also been rewatching Broke Farmer about making another apple tree from my Honey Crisp because I got a branch that's crossing like this. And you don't want two branches rubbing up against it because once it breaks the bark, it can get infested, you know, or damaged. And I want to see if I can air layer it and see if I can cut. I have to do it in the spring when it warm. I think it's too cool now to try that. uh, Rooting that piece and starting another Honey Crisp uh, apple tree. So I'm gonna throw my hat in the ring there and see if I can try that. Okay. Oh, with Florence, so you just planted some kale? Yeah, yeah. I had planted those champion collard green seeds that I had gotten free from the library, and the deer and the raccoon came in there and they decimated it. I mean, they destroyed the deer, knocked over the stand, broke the leg. One of my friends is reinforcing the leg, tilted over the concrete bed, ripped the cage off of it, and ate all my seedlings. And they did it twice. I said, I'm not doing it a third time. So the kale that I'm growing right now is in the window box out on the porch. I'm on the second floor. Now, if the deer can get up here to get it, okay, they welcome to it, but they're not getting this kale that I got in my window boxes. And I listen to a lot of people who come on who saying they have small spaces or they have no spaces, where they're defeating the purpose before they even get started. You could take a bottle, a pill bottle, and put dirt in it and drop a seed and grow. It's how bad you want to try to grow something will make a difference on what you do to make it happen. I've seen them grow sweet potatoes in a box. They reinforced the bottom of the box, put holes in it, a good heavy cardboard box, and put dirt in it and put sweet potatoes and grew it in a box. I've seen them, like I've grown veggies in 5 gallon buckets, 2 gallon pots, 1 gallon pots. And I'm going to show you the video, the window boxes. You can grow whatever you want in whatever container. I've seen people in dirt poor countries grow plants in a shoe. Okay. It's according on how bad you want to grow something. All right, Jay. Have a good one. Thank you for stopping in. And I'll be looking for that video on pomegranates real soon. Yep. Good night, Jay. My bad, chat. I was spraying for bugs and listening. Okay. That's all right. Handle your business. Yep. Yep. And I told him it's like anything else you want to do. If you want to do it bad enough, you find a way to do it. If you want to take a vacation, you know it's going to cost you to take a vacation. You sit down and you figure out the cost. Well, first of all, you're going to figure out where you want to go. Then you'll break down what it will cost you to get there. Whether you can go by bus, plane, or train, or car. All right. If you have to buy food all day, every day. If you want to go shopping to wherever you want to go. If you want to buy snacks and sodas or whatever, or liquor or whatever, food to bring back to your room. You're going to sit down and make out a plan of everything you need to save up for in order to enjoy that trip. Well, it's no different in your garden. You know you're going to need dirt or soil. You might not have money for fertilizer, but if you buy a potting soil that has fertilizer built in it, that's a good start. And during that time that plant is growing, you might be able to save up some extra pennies to add amendments. Okay. Uh, you might be able to get some empty pots from a neighbor who no longer uses them, or they have moved into bigger pots and they just want to get rid of them. You know, it's a million and one ways, like the salad containers that you get, or the containers you get your strawberries or blueberries in. Throw some dirt in it. They already got the holes in it. They got the lid on it, so it makes it a mini greenhouse. And then once they start to germinate, you just pop the lid. It's too many ways out here to accomplish whatever you want to do, only if you really want to do it. If your heart is not in it, or if you feel like you're going to fail before you get started, that's exactly what's going to happen. So you have to make that determination on just how bad you really want a garden. Yep, coffee cans, milk jugs, anything. Anything that can hold. Like I said, I've seen them put it in an old shoe. You know, I seen it in a boot. I seen it in a tennis shoe. I seen well, one lady took an old umbrella, turned it upside down, poked holes in the bottom, filled it full of dirt, and grew a garden in it. There's no excuse why you can't grow a garden. They're giving away free seeds everywhere. Or if you buying food or fruits and stuff, they got seeds in them. Just save it, you know. Or if you know someone who eats a lot of fruits and vegetables, you can ask them to save the seeds from it. There's no excuse why you can't garden if you really want to, honestly, you know. So that's up to you on how you want to do that. Because I started out, even the kids in school, they give them a cup with a styrofoam cup with a plant, and you bring it home. And they tell you to keep it alive and then bring your produce at the end of the school before school is out on what you grew. Okay. Broke, I used to take milk jugs and put them over the top of my plants to make mini greenhouses. Or a liter bottles of soda, keep the top off of it. Or if you want to keep the top on it in the winter, poke holes in it so that the heat that rises to the top won't suffocate your plant, and push it down in the ground, making mini greenhouses. There's a gazillion and one ways to grow whatever. I've seen people grow African violets in a teacup. They put stones in the bottom so the roots aren't sitting in water, and grew African violets in a teacup. And don't listen to every Tom, Dick, and Harry, because them same ones who telling you can't do it is not doing it at all themselves. What they call them naysayers, Debbie Downers, you know. Don't listen to them folks. Because as soon as you grow something, they're going to be knocking on your door asking you for some of the produce that you grew. So, yeah. Food by Faith. Hey, garden the table. So glad you made it, huh? Yeah. Yeah, don't let nobody stop you. That's right, Gina. Don't let them stop you. Because, like you said, as soon as you grow something, they're like, oh, girl, you grew that? You didn't do it. While you started telling me not to. Yeah. And it wasn't that hard. It was easy. They want somebody else to do all the work. So, yes, hated those school plants. Never knew what they were. Flowers or veggies. Had a brush bean. A bush bean as a house plant. I think my first one from school was a marigold. I could tell from the leaf because my grandmother used to grow them. And that was funny. When they started popping up, I would go around and I would name the different students what they had in the cups, and the teacher would take a magic marker and mark it because she didn't know what it was. She just knew she had a pack of seeds and she was just putting seeds in a pot. She didn't even know what it was. I was like, wow. Yeah. I was like, that's a cucumber. That's a squash. I was like, that's a tomato. You know, they had no idea what they had in those cups. And she would write on the cup tomato, pepper, squash, or whatever. So, yeah. He said, when I start my garden, I take all the containers out of my house and start plant my garden. Yeah. However you want to do it, just do it. Just do it. It's real simple. I had so many plastic containers around here. I was like, no, this don't make no sense. It's like, you got all these containers. You know how much dirt you gonna need to put in all this stuff? I'm sorry, soil. And I was like, mm. And like my window boxes, every year I take half of the soil out. I don't empty them because, like they said, that gets to be expensive trying to fill those all the way up to the top with new soil. I take out half, and then I take that half that I took out, and I might put one bag of small bag of new soil in it on a tarp, and I would add some amendments to it, mix it up real good, loosen up the old soil in the bottom of that window box, and put that soil right back in there. I would add some peat moss, maybe some worm castings, some blood meal and bone meal, mix it up real good, and stick it right back in that pot. Yeah, soil is too expensive to keep trying to add, buy. Even if you buy it by the square yard, it's still expensive. And it's going to get more because there's more people gardening. We said my niece grew a lima bean, but I actually let her sow cucumber seeds in my garden so she could really see. Yeah, you got a lot of kids out here that don't know that you could really grow food in your own yard. When they see my garden, they was like, "What is that?" I said, "That's a cucumber," and he was like, "That's how they grow." I'm looking at them like I didn't say it out loud because I didn't want to embarrass the child, and I didn't want to hurt his feelings. And I was like, "Yes, sweetheart, that's how cucumbers grow." And I took him over and I showed him how watermelons was on the vine. I got watermelons growing on the vine. I showed him the cantaloupe. I showed him the different kinds of peppers and stuff. He's like, "Yeah, my daddy likes those. Them hot ones, yeah." And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh, they grow on a bush like that?" And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." And it's sad that our young people don't know where their food come from other than the supermarket. They don't know how it's grown, what's added in the soil, how it grows. I had one guy said, "I really like the flowers in your yard." He said, "I'm not a flower kind of guy, but he said the ones you got are so pretty." And I said, "Thank you." And one young lady said, "My mother would love those." And I went over and I cut her a bouquet, took some twine and wrapped it around the bottom and handed this to her. And I said, "Take that home to your mama." And she almost had tears in her eyes. She said, "For real?" I was like, "Yeah, for real." I said, "Don't come back and cut them yourself, but if you want like some, just ring my doorbell and I'll make you a bouquet for yourself." And she was like, "Thank you." I said, "You're welcome, sweetheart." It breaks my heart sometimes on just how people aren't necessarily ignorant, they just haven't been exposed. And some people won't take the time to look stuff up. They just rather just know that they have it available when they want it or when they need it. They don't care how it got there, whether it came on a truck, came by plane, train. They just know it's there. So, yeah, one day at a time. You looking at a pure white squirrel, freaky. Oh, they got squirrels in every color. Yeah, I seen them in black. The first time I saw a real black squirrel, I was in Toronto at a botanical garden, and he was sitting up in the tree eating a piece of fruit or something. I was like, black? Wow. I've seen him orange. I've seen him almost. I saw one that looked like he was a bluish gray. And you know what's so funny about that? When we see stuff here, until you travel and go somewhere else, you think everything looks like what we have here at home until you go somewhere else. And then you're like, "Oh, okay. We don't have squirrels that color back home." This is something new. It's funny. And just like when I went out the country and what I have is house plants is huge because that's where they originally come from, the tropics. And they just have been downsized to house plants to us, but they will climb up the side of a building like King Kong. So it's amazing that once you get outside your comfort zone and out your city and venture out and see what's actually out there, it's amazing. And you want to come back and tell everybody about it. Take pictures. Stand by it so somebody can take a picture just so you can do a size comparison. You know, it's so cool and it's funny. And it's just like they don't show you this, they don't tell you this. You have to find out this for yourself. Who knew? Oh, you're a city boy not exposed to gardening? And I was just the opposite. I was living in the city, but I had a old southern family, and that's how they survived, you know, gardening. So, yeah. My grandmother loved to cook. Boy, that woman was whew, that woman could cook her butt off. Oh my goodness. Yes, indeedy. I was a chunky monkey for a minute there because I was right in the kitchen with Granny. Because that food would be smelling so good. You know how you sitting in your house and somebody next door might be cooking something and the aroma comes through your house and you just like, ah, yes, I need some of that. That even smells good. My granny was like that. She would have the house smelling good, neighbors next door by like, Miss Billings, what you cooking over there today? That really smell good. She be dropping some dumplings in a pot. She had a little dough. She had her little fingers going and dumping them dumplings in that pot. Nothing like fresh. Mm, mm, mm. I miss that little old lady. Yeah. I'm originally from Toronto. Did you like your stay? Oh yeah. I've been all over Canada from Toronto to Ontario. Yeah. Yeah. Niagara Falls all over. I love Toronto. I love Canada. Canada is so clean and the people are so nice. The friend I was with, well, one time I was with a friend who speaks fluent French. And I think we were in Quebec and they were talking. I was like, hello, excuse me. Mm-mm. I don't understand the word y'all saying. That's just rude. Let me tell you another time that happened to me. My granddaughter went to Paris and she speaks French. So just so happened we were coming from downtown in Philadelphia. She was in college. And the cab driver, I guess he was Haitian. And you could hear the accent, very strong French accent. So I just casually said, my granddaughter speaks French. And they got to talking. And I was like, again, hello. That's just rude. And he was like, all right. And next thing I know, they was exchanging numbers. So, hey, oh, come on, get off my screen. I was exposed to gardening as a kid, and that made me dislike so many grocery store fruits and vegetables. They don't take as good. Oh, I think you meant taste as good as anything you can grow. Of course not, because a lot of the groceries we get are coming in on those big 18-wheeler trucks. A lot of them are refrigerated, and they pick them when they're half ripe, and they have that ethanol gas on some of those trucks to ripen up the vegetables and fruits and stuff. So by the time they get to us, they look pretty. And a lot of it's hot house, and hot house has no flavor. It's just bland. It's just like, have you ever cooked something and it's like something's missing? Yeah, flavor. That's what it is. I don't care how much stuff you put in there. If the food itself is missing and lacking flavor, I don't care how much you add to it. It's not gonna make a difference. You know how we always say we doctor up stuff? Yeah. My Australian friends got bird pests. We spend thousands on to buy as pets. Forget the name. Okay. I don't want to know the name if we doing them as pets, cause, okay. Or you should visit. What's that? Garnier, Quebec. Been living there 10 years. Okay. What's so good about that particular area? I mean, uh, the food, the flowers, the atmosphere. Can you give me a little more detail? Did they get married? That would be a good movie. Okay. Yeah, typos is real easy. Yeah, Flavor Flav. Yeah. Ooh, that was an ugly man. Flavor Flav. I don't know how them women fell in love with him. Walk around there dark as night. He could stand in the corner with his eyes closed and you'll walk right past him. I can't stand Flavor Flav. That's just an ugly man. I'm sorry. That's just my own personal opinion. It might be some women out here who really like black and ugly. I'm just not one of them. He was a complete fool. Oh, the fruit is awful. Looks good on the outside, terrible on the inside. Yeah. Hey, y'all agree? Y'all know Flavor Flav ain't no good looking man. He wasn't good looking man when he was born. He probably looked like a monkey when he was born. And he just got ugly as he got older. He sure didn't get cuter. If he did, ooh, I hate to see his baby pictures. Yeah. No, that wasn't my niece. That was my granddaughter. Yeah, she's a traveler. She's a traveler too. She was traveling all over the world. Hi, Lisa's Journey. Welcome. Glad you made it. Uh-huh. Now, if y'all think I'm lying about Flavor Flav being as he is, put a yes in the comments. I'm gonna see how many yeses I get. All of us is God children. That don't mean it makes him pretty. Ugly is ugly, you know. I went over to a woman and she had a baby in a carriage, and I love babies. And I looked in there, and they was like, "Oh, ain't he cute?" And I didn't say anything because my mom said if you can't say nothing nice, well, I didn't say anything. And and he was like, "What do you think?" I said, "No, we ain't doing this." Oh, it was only a face some mother can love because, no, yeah, mm-mm. That baby was not cute by a long shot. Mm-mm. That baby was just ugly for no reason. Mm-mm. He's a spitting image of his mother. Who? Flavor Flav? Oh, wonder how he came to be if he looked like his mama. Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, forgive me, Lord, but that's my own personal opinion. I can't say what other folks think, but yeah. Oh, my Renaissance grandma. Hey, hon. So glad you made it in tonight. Thank you for coming. Hmm. And if y'all like me, please make sure y'all hit that like button or the thumbs up. Show me that you like me just a little bit. Just say, "Oh, what a baby." I don't even do that. I just go, okay. I don't say nothing because, honest to goodness, that baby look like you need to give him a banana. I'm just saying. Tia, drum go. Good evening, sweetheart. Glad you was able to come in and say the last 10 of this. Guava, y'all. Okay, you said they have a huge park. Nature is beautiful. Wild turkeys, deer. I should say Almere, Quebec, part of. Okay, I can't pronounce those names, but I'll check it out the next time I go to Canada because I'm starting to travel back again. So, hey, learning to grow my own. Hello, how are you? I was Who was that? We were on yeah, when I was doing the live with Broke Farmer, and you were saying hi, and I got a chance to see your thumbnail because I was wondering what you look like. Yeah, I'm glad you stopped in tonight. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm doing okay. I don't know about everybody else. They doing just fine. They're here. They're supporting me. I appreciate it. Excuse me. Do anybody know where I could get? I want to try a tree collard. I've tried Georgia collards and was it Champion and a few others, but I actually want to try to grow a tree collard, even if I have to put it in a 5-gallon bucket and bring it in the house. I would like to do that. Can I order that off of um, Amazon? Oh, okay, Teresa. Oh, yeah. All right. I like a guide now. Somebody can take me and show me all the good spots. That'll work. I like to travel. I would like to start traveling again. That last trip was, oh man, let me tell you, that last trip I went on just before the pandemic, It was a 8-night, 9-day cruise. We went to St. Kitts, St. Martin, Haiti, and San Juan, Puerto Rico. It was about 50 of us. Good, we're all good friends. We coming from all over the United States, not just Cleveland. And they, the captain gave us our own room to play cards because we was playing bid whist and line dancing and having a good time. I don't know, Mike, if it is. That's a good question. Can somebody answer Mike's question? Is tree collars the same as a walking stick? Which I don't know what that is either. Odom's Homestead, thank you for coming in. Appreciate it. Oh, 15 minutes from Ottawa. Okay, I can say that. Yeah, but yeah, that trip was phenomenal. When we got to San Juan, Puerto Rico, we went to the Bacardi Museum. That's when I had my first real mojito. Oh, excuse me. Yes, indeed. That was a memorable trip. I'm scared to get out here now. I was watching it was a video where they had these people at the airport standing 6 feet apart, standing in line, but then they was on the plane and they was all on top of each other. So what was the purpose of standing 6 feet apart outside and then y'all like a can of sardines on the inside? It didn't make sense. You know, if half the plane was booked where every other row, every other seat, you know, 2 seats was empty, something like that, where it was space between passengers, that would have made a little more sense. But then, you know, like I said, you got people standing in line 6 feet apart, then they get on the plane, y'all sitting on top of one another. It don't make sense. So I don't see what the purpose was. Just Dorsha. Hello, sweetheart. I'm so glad you made it in. Yes, indeed. I've been watching you cooking up a storm. I'm just like, whew, you make me hungry just watching it. You cooking. And I don't and I'm actually gonna try. I really want to try that recipe with the eggplants where you scoop out the middle of the eggplants and chop up all that good stuff and put it back and then put the cheese in it. I want to try that because I do like eggplant. I do. And put all the fresh veggies in there. And Renaissance Grandma, yes, indeedy. Ooh, saying hi to Just Georgia. I went to Mexico last year. We were spread out on that plane. Yeah, yeah. But when they say that we're somewhere back to normal, they're going right back to where they started from, which doesn't make sense because this is getting ready to the beginning of the flu and cold season, which means they won't be able to tell the difference between that and the new stuff out here. Now they want a booster shot for our Omicron. Excuse me, let me call you back. All right. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's see. I went to Mexico. Okay. Yeah, you spread out on the plane, but then you were you spread out everywhere else you went though? Were you still on top of one another going to the restaurants and other places shopping? You know, stuffed eggplant parmesan. Okay. All right. Yeah, that looked good. And I was like, I like to try that. Yes, you can come and live what you want. Yeah, I could. Yeah, I would like to visit Nick. I'd like to visit everybody, really. Oh, that's what I wanted to ask. Um, Next year for 2023, where they had the meetup, is anybody looking for a roommate? I'm a granny on a budget. I want to go. I really want to go. But if I could split the bill, I'd be more than happy. I want my variant shot. You gonna get it. I told him I feel like a Saint Bernard. I get more shots than a dog. I'm over 65, so I had to get a pneumonia shot, a shingle shot. I had to get one for hepatitis C. I had to get one for flu. Then I had to get all these booster shots. And I was like, the only thing I'm missing is a flea dip and distemper. You know, Rover don't get as many shots as I do. Now I got to have a pull out a card and show it in order to get an airplane ticket. I'm just like, whoa. When did the tables turn? Every time I turn around, we getting a shot. Now they got a new booster. Project Tree Collars is where I got my tree collars from. Never heard it. Never heard of that. Wear a mask at dinner unless you're eating. Polite viruses wait till you finish. Then they go, and Mike, you don't have the sense the good Lord gave you. Oh my goodness. No. That's just, yeah, okay. Wait till you finish eating it, Lisa. Waria. I'm almost to the bottom of this. Ah, you say I don't do shots. Give me some liquid. uh, well, you have to take whatever they give you. I guess whatever they have, they might not have it in liquid form yet. Yeah, that's funny. But I like all. I love all of y'all. Uh, I be cracking up when I sit and watch TT uh, Canning and Gina. You in another room. Well, you in your house canning, and there's somebody else canning, and everybody waiting on the timers to go off, and sitting, waiting, rattling. And you showed that one bottle TT where the bottom came out, and you lost all the stuff that was in there. But that was that was a good learning experience to let know that it can happen to anybody. It doesn't make a difference if you're a beginner or a novice at canning, that it could happen, you know. And just like Homestead Heart, Maria was showing us about the pot that she fell asleep and it ran dry and it bowed at the bottom. She can no longer pressure can, but she can water bath can in the pot. So yeah, it's a whole lot of stuff out here that we will never, ever know everything there is when it comes to canning, uh, whatever. Because, like, Marie has been canning for years, not based on the blue book that you get from balls. This is just something she has experienced. And, like she says, some things you won't find in that book. And there's a lot of things they say you can't do. And she said, oh, yes, you can. You just know how to do it properly. And when you find someone who has done it and it's been proven to work, then quite naturally you're a little more apt to do it because you're not going just on say so. It's actually been done. Yeah, that was a learning experience. Yeah. Oh, but Gina, like I said, when I saw you make that cowboy candy, and I got the shishito peppers out here, and I got some habaneros and jalapenos out in the lot, you gonna make me make some cowboy candy because I do like hot. Yeah, I do. I love you, young people. I do. Y'all just don't know. I love young folks. I don't hang around old people. They tell you I hang around young people. I got enough complaints of my own. I don't want to hear somebody else's too. I like young folks. Y'all keep me up to date on the new language. Y'all help me out with the technology. with phones and laptops and tablets and what have you, and you you don't make me feel so old, and you don't make me feel stupid, you know, because a lot of you say, well, I helped my grandmother out or I helped my mom out, you know. Like when my son was younger and coming up, I didn't know how to work the VCR. He got the remote, showed me how to program it, the whole 9 yards. Boom. DVD player. Boom. Blu-ray. Boom. Cassettes. Boom. You know, so I've watched the evolution of the world from when some of y'all never heard of us using carbon paper between sheets of paper to make duplicates of anything. And if you messed up, you had to tear all of that up and start over again because you couldn't erase it. So I come from that age. Half y'all don't even know what carbon paper is. That was before whiteout even showed up. And you typed on a typewriter. Okay. You didn't have a keyboard on a laptop or desktop or whatever top. All right. I come from the age where they still smoke sitting at the desk in the office. You know, I don't know nothing about a lot of that stuff. Before beepers came out, the only ones who had beepers were doctors. Before phones came out, before they came out with them phones that was this big and people thought they was cool with the big antenna on them. Yeah, yeah, I've seen the evolution of the centuries. And I sit back and laugh at these young folks who think a lot of this stuff that we used to wear and do back in the day is new. Like they think naturals is new. They think afros is new. They think bell bottoms and all this other stuff is new. They think Victoria's Secret is new. Please, come on, people. History repeats itself. It does. And they don't get it. Say, TLC said you remember the carbon paper and typewriters? Mm-hmm. Yeah, when your keys get stuck, you had to hit it, put it back up in there. Mm-hmm. Some of y'all, if you're not old heads, your parents were, and they exposed you to it. So some of y'all know. Yeah, copy paper was crazy. When you messed up, you had to start from scratch. Yeah, you did. Yep. Same way with typing. If you type with no whiteout and stuff, you had to take it out and put it, because you used to write on top of the paper with carbon paper. And then when it came out, with you start using the typewriters on the job, then you can put the carbon paper in the typewriter and use it so that you would copy, print. It would go through all. Yeah, yeah, it was a hot mess. You got good at typing though. I used to type 90 words a minute. These long, slender fingers. Oh, I used to get down. That's why they don't work worth a doggone now. They tired. Yeah, we all getting up there. There's nobody going backwards. There's no what was it, Brad Pitt, Benjamin Young, or whatever that guy was going backwards. The TV converter had a cord. Everything had a cord. Your kids was the original remote control. Back in the day when we had the wired coat hangers, and you made the wired the antennas, and you said the rabbit ears. Had them stand there and hold it. Oh, no, no, no. A little to the left. No, no. A little bit to the right. All right. Bend it right there. Okay. Yeah. Now stand right there and hold it. Oh, I don't get to watch TV, but I had to be the antenna. Uh-huh. Yeah. You remember back in the day when you broke a knob on the stove? Got a pair of pliers. And they still using them to today. Yeah. I've seen a lot of changes in the world. A lot. Ink for the print used to get on air. Oh yeah, that ink. Oh, when that ink got on you, it didn't come off. Your fingers will be purple or blue forever. I mean, it had to literally wear off. There was nothing you could do to get that ink off. If you got it on anything, your clothes, your blouse, your skirt, that's a wrap. That was ruined. That wasn't coming out. I don't know what kind of ink that was, indelible ink, whatever, was definitely, that ink wasn't no joke. Gee, what you say you lived through all those changes? Let's talk library and the little drawers. Oh, yeah, with the cards in them. Yeah, the drawers was about this big and they had the little cards in them, and you had to go through the little cards to find out what section this was in. Oh, yeah. Yeah, been there, done that. Yeah, Mike, tell her. She still got milk behind her ears. I'm just trying to make her feel good. No, she ain't got a clue. Oh, really well. And she knew short. Oh, yeah, I knew shorthand too. I used to work for an attorney back in the day. Yeah, you had to know shorthand back in the day because they be talking 90 words a minute. Then you had to go back and translate that and type. Same way when I became a medical secretary. Oh, we had to read doctors' prescriptions. Phew. Boy, that was the worst class in the world to have to take. You know, doctors write like chicken scratch. Half of them couldn't even read their own prescriptions. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, memories. Oh, index cards. I still have index cards. I still have them and I still use them. When I want to remember something, I write it down. I write the question down on one side, then I write the answer on the other. I still use index cards. Let me tell you, old school got a lot of validity to it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Because there's a lot of times when all this other stuff out, technology and what have you, break down, what do? They go back old school. Because it works. And it's not going anywhere. So yeah, uh-uh. I like old school. Yep, the blue copies in school. Yep. And you would get carbon paper, ink all over your clothes and hands too. Man, that was the good old days. Yeah, it is. The Dewey Decimal System. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, you can soak for hours in that ink. It's the same kind of ink now that they use for fingerprint folks. When folks said they couldn't get the ink out of their fingerprint, you could fingerprint them next week. You still had ink in in the grooves of your fingers. That was hilarious. Oh, those were the good old days though. Cause now technology, I'm so lost. Like I want to take my chat off of private and make it public afterwards. I still haven't learned how to do that yet. And I had put in a second time for it to be screened because I thought I was doing it for next week and it did it for like 15 minutes earlier. So I'm still learning. I'm still trying to get the kinks out. Sometimes I can get someone to talk to me and walk me through it. And other times I'm like, oh, snap. What did I just do? I'll be trying to figure it out. All right, y'all. Hit that like button. Let you know y'all like me. Just a little bit. Well, in a few more minutes, I'm going to get off of here. Ooh, Lord, I've been over here over 2 hours. Okay. Yeah. I hear you, my Renaissance grandma. Yeah, I got good at it too. They used to bring me prescriptions and say, what is this? I was like, that says twice a day for the next 5 days. And I was like, how did you see that? After a while, once you learn a certain doctor's handwriting, it's easy to read a prescription. But you got to know that doc. Otherwise, it looks like chicken scratch. Oh, attorneys are no better. Yeah. Yeah, they write just as bad. My shorthand look better than that. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you work for them now. Ugh. And the smart or was to work, and the kids was thinking the class was. No. Ah, um, does anybody have any questions for me before I close out this chat? I am sorry that I don't always talk about gardening because I've been doing it so long. It's just life to watch things grow. I got just as many house plants as I do plants outside. When I first moved into this place, which was over 22 years ago, and I rent, I don't own this house. my landlady said, "Are you a florist with your own business?" And I was like, "No, those are just my house plants." I had over like 200, 250. I'm down to maybe about 50 now. I didn't given a lot of them away. It was taking me 2 and 3 days to water all that stuff, so I had to kind of downsize. So, oh, and I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna make a video on the new babies y'all show me. I showed you that I had made cuttings for. Well, they have gotten much bigger. I throw some 511 off in there, and them bad boys said, "You ought to see how big and how healthy they look." And I'm giving them away as to friends that I know who have house plants as well. And I told them that once I divide these particular plants, they would get pieces of them. So yeah, I'll be doing a video on those as well. Let's see. This is your show. Talk about what you want. It's all good, Miss Shirley. It's always good to see you. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I mean, everybody talks about gardening, 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 gardening. And at times I feel like, what else more could I talk about? Because a lot of you guys have homesteads, uh, big yards, and I say I can only do what I can do with what little I have. Sometimes I feel a little out of sorts that I'm not as far as I would like to be, or how I used to garden. But then I also have to take in consideration that I've gotten older and I can't do everything I used to do. So I do the best I can with what I can. Yeah, I have used 511 inside, but I guarantee you it was so diluted that you could hardly smell it. Believe me. And my plants appreciated it. All right, Florence. Good night. Thank you for coming. Hope to see you next week. Same bat time, same bat station. Oh, Mike, it's not stinky. I'm not trying to pour in half a bottle, a couple of drops in the water just to have it in there. Okay. You said the squirrels leave it alone after? Yeah, well, I got a discerning nose. Yeah, yeah. So thank you so much for all of you coming in, sitting with me, listening to me and my stories. And I thank you for your comments. And please hit that like button and come back and see me next Thursday at 7 o'clock. And share the video, okay? And show me that you like me just a little bit. And as I always say, y'all come back now. You hear?